Michael Turner never thought addiction would be part of his story. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't chasing highs. He wasn't trying to escape reality. He was just in pain. The accident happened on a Tuesday afternoon. A construction site. A loose beam. One wrong step. Michael didn't remember the fall. Just waking up in a hospital bed, staring at a ceiling he didn't recognize. A doctor stood nearby. "You're lucky," she said. "It could have been worse." Michael tried to smile. His back burned with a pain he couldn't describe. Recovery was slow. Physical therapy. Limited movement. Sleepless nights. The pills helped. At first, they took the edge off the pain, allowed him to sleep, gave him space to breathe. Michael followed instructions carefully. Dosage, timing, rules. He trusted the system. Weeks turned into months. The pain didn't fully go away, and neither did the pills. When the prescription ran out, Michael noticed something unexpected. It wasn't just his back that hurt. His body felt restless. His thoughts raced. Sleep disappeared. The doctor extended the prescription. "Just a little longer," she said. Michael nodded, relieved. The pills became routine. Morning, afternoon, night. Michael didn't feel high. He felt normal. And that felt necessary. His wife noticed the changes before he did. "You're not really here," she said one evening. Michael frowned. "I'm right here." "No," she replied softly. "You're present, but distant." Michael brushed it off. He was healing, wasn't he? He returned to work part-time. But something was different. The job felt heavier, the noise sharper, the pressure unbearable without the pills. So he adjusted. One extra dose, just to get through the day. Michael told himself the same thing every time. "I need this." And for a while it felt true. The turning point came quietly. One night, Michael stood in the bathroom staring at his reflection. Eyes dull, skin pale, hands shaking slightly. He opened the medicine cabinet. Empty. Panic rose fast. Not because of pain, because of fear. Fear of how he'd feel without them. That scared him more than the injury ever had. He called the pharmacy. Too early for a refill. He hung up and slid down the wall, sitting on the cold tile floor. His chest tightened. His heart raced. "I'm not addicted," he whispered. But the words didn't convince him. That night, Michael lay awake, every nerve on edge. His back hurt. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the realization creeping into his mind. The pills weren't just treating pain anymore. They were controlling him. And he didn't know when that had happened. As dawn approached, Michael stared at the ceiling, eyes burning. "I just wanted to heal," he whispered. He didn't know it yet. But that honest sentence marked the beginning of a much deeper fight. One that painkillers could never fix. Michael didn't call it addiction. He called it management. Pain management. Stress management. Life management. That's what he told himself. He learned how to time the pills. One in the morning before his body fully woke up. One mid-afternoon just to stay even. One at night, so sleep wouldn't turn into another battle. He stopped counting days. He counted doses. At work, people said he looked better, more focused, less tense. Michael took that as proof he was fine. If the pills were a problem, wouldn't everything be falling apart already? That's how denial worked. It waited. At home, the distance grew. Conversations shortened. Eye contact faded. Silence filled the spaces where connection used to be. His wife tried again. "Do you remember what the doctor said about tapering off?" she asked carefully. Michael snapped. "I know what I'm doing." The tone surprised both of them. She nodded and backed off. Not because she agreed, because she didn't recognize him anymore. Michael began planning around the pills. Long drives required extra doses. Family events meant bringing a bottle, just in case. Running out was no longer an inconvenience. It was a crisis. He told himself it was temporary. He always did. Sleep became unpredictable. Some nights he crashed hard. Others he lay awake, heart racing, mind restless. On those nights, he stared at the ceiling and replayed the accident. The fall, the impact, the feeling of losing control. The pills dulled the memory. And Michael learned something dangerous. They didn't just numb pain. They numbed fear. His wife noticed the irritability next. Small things set him off. Noise, questions, unexpected plans. One evening after dinner, she placed her hand gently on his arm. "I'm worried about you," she said. Michael pulled away. "I'm tired," he replied. "That's all." She looked at him for a long moment. "I miss you," she said quietly. Michael had no answer. The prescriptions became harder to refill. Doctors asked questions. Michael adjusted again. Different clinics, different explanations. He hated the secrecy, but he hated the alternative more. One afternoon, Michael forgot to take his midday dose. He didn't realize it until his hands started shaking. Sweat broke out across his back. His heart pounded like he'd run a marathon. Pain surged, not just in his spine but everywhere. Panic followed. He locked himself in a bathroom stall and waited it out, teeth clenched, breath shallow. When he finally took the pill, relief washed over him. Not relief from pain, relief from terror. That moment changed everything. That night, Michael stood in the kitchen long after everyone had gone to bed. He stared at the pill bottle in his hand. He didn't feel powerful. He felt small. "I can stop whenever I want," he whispered. The words sounded rehearsed. He had heard them before, from people he never thought he'd understand. His wife found the hidden bottle a week later, behind the cleaning supplies, tucked away carefully. She held it up silently. Michael froze. "How long?" she asked. He looked away. "It's not what you think." She swallowed. "Then tell me what it is." Michael opened his mouth. Nothing came out. That night she slept on the couch. Michael lay awake alone, staring at the dark. The house felt colder, bigger. He realized something he had avoided for months. The pills had slipped from treatment to necessity, from necessity to control, and now they were costing him the one thing he hadn't meant to lose: the people who loved him. As the hours passed, Michael felt the weight of the truth pressing in. The injury had healed. The pain hadn't disappeared. But the dependency, that had grown quietly in the shadows. And for the first time, Michael wondered if this was a fight he couldn't win on his own. Michael decided to stop on his own. Not because he was confident, because he was ashamed. He didn't tell his wife, didn't tell his doctor, didn't ask for help. He just stopped. The first day felt manageable, uncomfortable, restless. His back ached, but he told himself it was normal. "This is what healing feels like," he whispered. The second day was worse. Sweat soaked through his clothes. His hands trembled uncontrollably. A dull nausea sat heavy in his stomach. Sleep was impossible. Every time he closed his eyes, his body jerked awake. Panic hovered just beneath the surface. By the third day, Michael was barely functional. His muscles burned. His skin felt like it didn't belong to him. He snapped at everyone, at his wife, at his kids, at himself. "I just need time," he said, pacing the living room. But time wasn't helping. That night, the fear arrived fully. Not anxiety, terror. His heart raced out of rhythm. His breathing became shallow and erratic. He sat on the bathroom floor, knees pulled to his chest, shaking violently. "I'm dying," he whispered. He reached for his phone, considered calling an ambulance, then considered the bottle hidden in the garage. The thought was intoxicating. One pill. Just to stop this. Michael stood up, legs unsteady, and walked toward the door. Each step felt heavier than the last. He opened the garage. The bottle sat exactly where he'd left it, waiting. His hands hovered over it. His body screamed for relief. And for a moment, nothing else mattered. Then his phone buzzed. A message from his wife. "I know you're struggling. I'm not giving up on you. Please don't give up on yourself." Michael sank to the floor. The bottle rolled out of reach. He sobbed. Not quietly. Not politely. He cried like a man who had reached the end of himself. The next morning he relapsed. Not because he wanted to, because he couldn't endure the withdrawal alone. The relief was immediate and devastating. He sat on the edge of the bed, pill dissolved, staring at his hands. "I hate this," he whispered. That was the moment Michael stopped lying to himself. He wasn't weak. He was trapped. And traps don't open from the inside. Later that day, his wife sat across from him at the kitchen table. "You don't have to do this alone," she said gently. Michael's voice cracked. "I don't know how to stop." She reached for his hand. "Then we get help." For the first time, he didn't argue. He nodded. The appointment came faster than expected. A specialist. A long list of questions. No judgment. "You're dependent," the doctor said calmly. "That doesn't mean you're hopeless. It means you need support." Michael swallowed hard. "Will I ever feel normal again?" The doctor paused. "Yes, but it will take time. And honesty." Treatment was brutal. Tapering. Monitoring. Nights filled with discomfort and doubt. Michael wanted to quit more than once. Every instinct told him to escape, but something held him there. Not strength. Commitment. One night, unable to sleep, Michael sat alone in the living room. The house was quiet. He felt exposed. Fragile. He whispered into the darkness, "I can't do this." The words didn't scare him anymore. They felt true. And for the first time, instead of reaching for a pill, he reached upward. Not confidently. Not eloquently. Just honestly. "If you're real, I need help." The room stayed silent. But Michael didn't feel mocked by it. He felt heard. And that unsettled him. Because if someone was listening, then this fight might not be his alone after all. Michael didn't expect anything supernatural to happen after that prayer. He didn't feel a rush. Didn't hear a voice. Didn't suddenly feel strong. What he felt was different. Stillness. For the first time in months, his mind stopped racing ahead. Treatment continued. Slow tapering. Careful monitoring. Days measured in small victories. Michael hated how exposed he felt. No pills to hide behind. No shortcuts. No control. Just him and the truth. One afternoon, during a group session, a man across the room spoke quietly. "I thought painkillers were my solution. Turns out they were my escape." Michael froze. The words landed too close. Another man nodded. "I didn't want to stop feeling pain. I wanted to stop feeling everything else." Michael swallowed hard. He hadn't said it out loud before. But that was it. That night, Michael opened the Bible his wife had placed on the nightstand weeks earlier. He hadn't touched it. Not out of anger. Out of uncertainty. He flipped pages slowly, unsure where to start. His eyes stopped on a verse he didn't remember ever hearing. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Weakness. The word hit him like a confession. Michael sat there for a long time, staring at the page. "I don't have any power left," he whispered. And for the first time, that didn't feel like failure. He began praying the same way every night. Not long prayers. Not impressive ones. "Jesus, help me stay. Help me endure today. Help me be honest." Sometimes the words didn't come. Sometimes they did. But something was changing. The fear didn't disappear. But it no longer ruled him. When cravings came, he didn't panic. He acknowledged them. Sat with them. Prayed through them. And slowly they passed. Not because he was strong. Because he wasn't alone. One evening, Michael sat with his wife on the couch. No TV. No distractions. "I need to tell you something," he said quietly. She tensed slightly. "I wasn't just afraid of the pain," he continued. "I was afraid of who I'd be without the pills." Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't know how to be present," he said. "I didn't know how to suffer." She reached for his hand. "We'll learn together," she said. Michael nodded. For the first time, he believed her. He started attending church again. Not out of habit, out of hunger. He sat in the back listening. No pressure, no spotlight, just words about surrender, about rest, about a Savior who didn't demand strength, only honesty. That changed everything. One Sunday, the pastor said something that stayed with him. "Jesus doesn't promise a pain-free life," he said. "He promises a life you don't have to escape from." Michael closed his eyes. That was it. Late one night, weeks into recovery, Michael sat alone at the kitchen table. The house was quiet. He felt tired, but clear. He whispered again, "Jesus, I don't need you to erase my pain. I need you to walk with me through it." And for the first time, Michael understood something deeply. Healing wasn't about never hurting again. It was about no longer running from hurt. The pills no longer defined his days. They no longer controlled his nights. The dependency was loosening. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but genuinely. Michael didn't feel victorious. He felt grounded. And that grounding wasn't coming from medication. It was coming from surrender. From knowing that even on the hardest days, he was being carried. Recovery didn't move in a straight line. Some days felt lighter. Others felt just as heavy as before. Michael learned quickly that progress didn't mean the absence of struggle. It meant learning how to face it. The cravings still came. Not sharp, not urgent, but persistent. They showed up in familiar moments. Late afternoons, quiet evenings, days when his back flared up without warning. On those days, his body remembered faster than his mind. One afternoon, pain shot down his spine while he was grocery shopping. His breath caught. His first thought wasn't prayer. It was panic. He gripped the cart, knuckles white, heart racing. One pill would fix this. The thought came uninvited, unfiltered. Michael closed his eyes. Not to escape, to choose. "Jesus, help me get through this moment," he whispered. The pain didn't disappear, but the urgency did. He finished shopping, drove home, sat down, and realized something important. He had felt pain and survived it. That night, exhaustion hit him hard. Not physical, emotional. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling empty. "I'm tired of fighting," he admitted quietly. The silence didn't feel cold. It felt attentive. Michael began to understand something new about faith. It wasn't about strength. It was about direction. Every day he faced the same choice: escape or endure. and endurance was slowly reshaping him. There were setbacks, not relapses with pills, but emotional ones. Sharp words spoken too quickly, moments of irritability, days when hope felt thin. Once, after snapping at his wife, Michael retreated into himself. The old shame crept back. "You're still broken," the voice whispered. He sat alone on the porch, head in his hands. "I thought I was past this," he said aloud. Then he remembered something the pastor had said weeks earlier. Healing doesn't erase weakness. It teaches you what to do with it. Michael exhaled. He went back inside, apologized, and stayed present. Slowly, trust began to rebuild. Not through promises, through consistency. Michael showed up, listened, stayed when things were uncomfortable. His wife noticed the difference. "You don't disappear anymore," she said one evening. Michael nodded. "I don't want to," he replied. His relationship with pain changed too. Pain no longer meant danger. It meant a signal, a reminder to slow down, to ask for help, to pray. Michael stopped measuring success by how little he hurt. He measured it by how honestly he lived. At group meetings, Michael started speaking more. Not advice, truth. "I didn't know how to sit with discomfort," he told them. "I thought escaping was survival." Heads nodded around the room. He wasn't alone. One night, months into recovery, Michael sat at the kitchen table holding a cup of tea. No pills, no fear, just quiet. He whispered, "I didn't think I'd make it this far." Not with pride, with gratitude. Michael wasn't cured. His back still ached on cold mornings. Stress still tested him. But something fundamental had changed. Pain was no longer the enemy. Avoidance was. And he had learned how to face both. For the first time since the accident, Michael felt present in his own life. Not numbed, not dulled, present. And presence, he realized, was a gift he had almost lost. One he would never take for granted again. Michael didn't wake up one morning feeling healed. What he felt was something quieter. Stability. The kind that doesn't shout victory, but shows up consistently. Months passed. The tapering ended. The routines settled. The cravings softened into distant echoes. They still appeared sometimes, but they no longer dictated his choices. Michael learned to recognize them for what they were, reminders of where he had been, not commands for where he had to go. Pain remained part of his life. Some days were manageable. Others were sharp and unforgiving. But pain no longer terrified him. It no longer meant he needed to escape. It meant he needed to slow down and lean in. Michael returned to work in a different role. Fewer hours, less strain. At first, his pride resisted. Then he realized something important. Rest wasn't weakness. It was wisdom. One evening, sitting at the dinner table, his daughter looked at him and said, "You're different now." Michael paused. "Different how?" "You listen," she replied. And you don't look far away anymore. His throat tightened. That mattered more than any promotion ever had. Michael began volunteering with a recovery group connected to his treatment center. Not as an expert, as someone who understood. When new patients sat across from him, eyes tired and guarded, he didn't offer speeches. He offered honesty. "I didn't plan on becoming dependent," he said. "I just didn't know how to suffer without escaping." That sentence opened doors. Men nodded. Women exhaled. Truth did what advice never could. One night after a long meeting, Michael sat alone in his car. He didn't reach for a bottle. He didn't reach for a pill. He reached for silence. And for the first time, silence felt safe. He whispered a prayer he now knew by heart. "Jesus, thank you for staying. Not for fixing everything. For staying." Michael understood something now that had once seemed impossible. His life hadn't been derailed by pain. It had been redirected. The accident had exposed what was fragile. The pills had revealed what was missing. And faith had shown him how to live without running. He no longer measured his days by comfort. He measured them by presence. Was he honest today? Was he kind today? Did he stay? Most days the answer was yes. And on days when it wasn't, grace met him there too. One morning, Michael stood outside, breathing in cool air, back aching slightly, heart calm. "I don't need to be numb to be okay," he said quietly. That sentence would have terrified him once. Now it felt freeing. Michael didn't lose his life to addiction, but he did lose an illusion. The illusion that pain must be avoided at all costs. And in losing that illusion, he gained something far more valuable. A life he didn't need to escape from. A faith that didn't promise ease, but presence. And a Savior who didn't wait for him to be strong, but met him exactly where he was.